time for the first winter palette of the season, and we're way into winter. But anyway, this is NYX Femme Fatale Sex Bomb. Open it and give you a nicer look. It's not a huge palette, so I'm only going to do one look with it. And I'm going to start off putting this one all over the lid. I'm going to use this taupe color in the crease. We've got a straight up black down here, which I will use under my eye. And most likely the lower lid will be a combination of this shiny taupe, and you know me, and the red. Alright? And while I do this, I'm going to tell you all about my exciting week last week. I don't know why it's so exciting, but it is. Oh, and I've got all my other makeup on, except once again, I just put on powder and no foundation. Sorry. Anyway, we had errands of various kinds to run all last week. But somehow we just were in the mood for being out and about. So we ended up just going and going all day long, which is why I didn't have any videos up last week. Because literally every single day, I think except maybe Friday, we were out and about. I mean, like one day Sugar had a vet appointment, you know, so we took her and then we brought her home and went out again. But what we did was, and I had thought about this much in advance, that I really wanted to try to spend, you know, most of my Christmas money, you know, or buy most of my Christmas presents on the local economy. It's, you know, not entirely possible to do that for every single person because of their likes and dislikes, but I wanted to make an effort to do that. Looking for the favored crease brush. So yeah, we went downtown, and we have a very quaint downtown. You know, most of the old buildings are, well, I'd say all of the old buildings are still there. And I mean, yes, there are some like attorneys' offices and stuff, but there are a lot of little boutiques. So, you know, we went to all the little boutiques. We went to the antique mall. We went to a town just, well, it's more than several towns. We went north into Tennessee and went to Selmer. Went to some little thrift stores and antique stores up there. And we just basically had a blast. And I showed you in Sunday's video a little necklace I got for myself. So, I mean, I did get a couple of things for myself, and I got Richard's present. Anyway, it was just, I don't know, it just felt so good, you know. I was very Christmassy. You know, we stopped, there's a little coffee shop downtown. We stopped there and had, you know, coffee, tea, and stuff. And anyway, it was just, it was lovely. What can I tell you? And I hope you're seeing this well. I think it's better when I hold the little thing right here off to the side and you can actually see what I'm doing. So anyway, this brings us around to Monday. Richard had a doctor's appointment at the VA in Memphis, as he often does. So I took him up there. And then after that, we came out to the car, and he was going to put his cane in the trunk of the car, and it wouldn't close. The trunk wouldn't close. And so there's this little lock. It's on the floorboard, on the floor to the left of the driver's seat. And I've only used it a couple times, like when I went out someplace that like had valet parking. You know, I locked the trunk. But anyway, so he jimmied with that, you know, to make sure it hadn't gotten locked, and it still wouldn't close. So I fortunately had some twine in the trunk. And so, you know, we tied it up and came on home and took the long road so we didn't bounce it around. So anyway, I've been due for an oil change and tire rotation anyway, so we took it to the Honda place down in Tupelo yesterday. Had them look at it, and here's what happened. It's kind of embarrassing. I don't know what made it not close the first time, but the second time, I mean, Richard went and when he jimmied that trunk lock thing, he ended up locking it, and the rest of the time it didn't. I mean, it wouldn't close because he'd locked it. So I don't know why it didn't close the first time. So anyway, I needed to do that anyway. But they found out that my brake pads are about gone, so I'm going to have to take it back probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow and get that done. Yikes. So it sort of ended up being a good thing that we went down there, because it hadn't really shown any sign of the brake pads going. I mentioned that it hadn't been squealing, and he said, the guy who helped us said some of them don't squeal anymore, which I had no idea. I thought they always squealed, but apparently not. So anyway, that's been our exciting time. And if you watched my Sunday video, oh no, never mind, next Sunday's video, you'll find that time spent walking is some of my happiest time. That's my Sunday video that I do with Cheryl. I'll be talking about that on Sunday. And indeed, last week was a great week. I don't know, just walking around antique malls, seeing all the cool stuff. Very satisfying thing to do. I actually think I am going to use some of that darker gray in the outer corner. I rarely use these, but I think I'm going to use this spongy thing to blend this out that I put under my eye. Pardon me. That was not too loud, clearing my throat. All right. I'm going to use this darker gray that I didn't think I was going to use for the outer corner. Not a lot, just a touch. I know this walking around stuff Richard and I were doing, it probably doesn't sound as much fun as it actually was. It was such a blast. This has actually turned out to be a much lighter, more subtle look than I thought it was going to be. So I think I'm going to go really light with that red. And I'm just going to put it, I think, in the inner corner and just drag it up a little. It'll look better in the middle. Yeah, probably better in the middle. Okay, yeah, so I'm putting it in the middle, but I'm dragging it to either side just a little bit. So as a result of all that excitement, I've got all my Christmas shopping done with the exception of one thing, but I haven't got it all mailed. So that's going to be the mission for next week. It's getting everything mailed. This turned out to be a lot more subtle than I had it in my mind, and a lot prettier than I'd had it in my mind. That is possibly the most perfect crease color I've ever seen in terms of its subtlety. All these colors, they're very blendable. I think you could, the pigment is rather light, but I think you could probably build them up. Like I did a little bit here on the sides, and it seemed to appreciate the effort of being built up. And you probably really can't see that sparkle as much as if I had a better camera. A little bit up there, though. It is subtle, we'll say it. It's kind of a taupe glimmer. I've had this palette sitting here for probably a year, and this is my first time to use it. I was kind of waiting for an occasion like this, so. Gosh, I like the way that turned out very well. Anyway, once again, Sex Bomb, Femme Fatale, NYX. I like it. Hope y'all did too. Love y'all. Bye.